It's Tuesday, May 14th. This is an end of the day SPY recap, and today on the daily chart we end up with a 2-up green day that took out the high of the previous day and closed near the highs. Tomorrow is the big CPI number that gets released before the market opens, so we'll see what kind of volatility develops. But in terms of today, we knew we started out in this trading range of the last 2 days that I was discussing. And if I go to the 15-minute chart, you can see here the last 2 days we gapped up, moved lower, gapped up, moved lower, held. So this whole area was a trading range. And today we were opening up kind of at the high end of the pre-market range between the blue lines, breaking out, but right at the top of a trading range that you don't know if it's going to break out or fail. So, to me, I wasn't that excited about buying a breakout here right near the high end of that range. If you did that here on bar, let's say number 3, you decided you're pausing for 2 bars, maybe a breakout, yeah, that's fine, but you have to be very nimble in my opinion. And when it comes up to the top of the range and can't break through and immediately starts lower to your entry, I think you could break even on a trade like this. And then obviously it came down and took out bar 1 low and then paused. And then, we're just chopping around inside this big range that I identified. And a lot of it's waiting, for tomorrow's number. Now, what happened was price did kind of vacillate inside, doing not much, and it came down and took out those intraday lows and then had a kind of a 2 down, 2 up green bar. I discussed how since we're at the bottom of the range, overall big picture, uptrend in play, I bought some calls here, and I just wanted to see if we kind of work up to the highs, and it turns out that it moved up nicely towards the end of the day. So to me, logically, it made sense. If you're gonna, trade the SPY in any way, shape, or form, and it's not breaking out, of this trading range, then if you get to the bottom of the range, take out liquidity, where the context on the weekly chart is green and on the monthly chart's green. Sometimes, when you don't get momentum, going to the upside, you have to wait for liquidity to be taken out before the market resumes its the trend direction. So anyway, I happen to buy calls here. I don't even know if I was expecting all that much. I thought it could come up here, and then it fortunately moved up. So it was a decent little short-term trade. But now, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow morning. So we end up kind of with a 2-up green bar that falls in line with the weekly chart, kind of, taking out its weekly high, kind of holding the midpoint of that bar at the moment, working towards all-time highs. That's kind of what's been developing ever since the breakout of this inside bar a few weeks ago. And who knows, maybe tomorrow with that number we gap up there, maybe we gap down and then fail and come back up. So the number is going to be tricky in terms of what it really means for the longer term direction, other than I still anticipate us heading up. So if we gap up, maybe we reach our targets immediately, it sells off. If we gap down, I still look for failures to head back up, but who knows, maybe if we head down, maybe opening price action will it'll be a very negative number, and you can have a big pullback. There's some gaps to fill on all those gap up days that brought some exhaustion risk. So we'll see tomorrow. I don't anticipate, the market's anticipating something pretty good. So I don't think there'll be a major negative thing, but, there'll be some volatility, and we'll just have to see where things go from there. And then when that shakes out, I think I'll have a better idea what's happening for the rest of the week. But for today, it's kind of a nothing day again, other than the fact that if you wanted to maybe take a chance after it took out liquidity, kind of just knowing the logic, you're in a trading range, and, momentum to the upside wasn't the way to go. You could have, just from a price action standpoint, taken a trade here, or you could have just done nothing, in my opinion, over almost the last 2 days. So now tomorrow we will see what it brings and how things go. But I still think the big picture on the weekly chart, we are heading up to those all-time highs. It's also the quarterly chart target we've talked about in the bigger picture. So we're going to get up there, I think, one way or the other, whether it happens right out of the gates tomorrow or subsequent after that, who knows. But for today, we'll just look at it as a 2-up green day, and if we get a 2 down bar tomorrow, then we can see what kind of price action might unfold on a deeper pullback if it develops. So still anticipating the upside though, one way or the other.